What's up everyone, how's it going? So guys, I have a theory about One Piece live action season 3. I think when Netflix brings Ace into the story, they might also find a way to show Whitebeard. And what I mean by that is not just Ace talking about him, because that part already feels almost guaranteed. In both the anime and the manga, Ace says he's part of Whitebeard's crew, and talks about how loyal he is to him. So that side of it is already a natural part of the story. But my real theory is that the live action might go one step further, and actually show Whitebeard. Because as you know, in the anime and manga, this part was handled in a much more mysterious way. While Ace was talking, we saw Whitebeard in a darker, more silhouette-like way. So we understood who the character was, but we couldn't clearly make out his face or anything like that. I think the live action could do this a little differently. In other words, instead of repeating the exact same scene shot for shot, they could present Whitebeard to the audience in a more concrete way. Maybe it wouldn't be a full clear introduction, but at least we could get some detail that actually puts the character in front of our eyes. The reason I think this is because of this. Netflix seems to like showing certain important characters earlier than expected in this adaptation. I especially think the Sabo example matters here, because with Sabo, they didn't go super deep into the character right away, but they still showed him and made the audience feel his presence. So I think they could do something similar with Whitebeard. In other words, even if he doesn't come in and get a huge scene in season 3, they could still give us that feeling of, yeah, Whitebeard is coming, even with just a brief moment. And that reveal doesn't have to be some massive scene either. For example, they could show a wanted poster, or in a short scene, even from a distance, we might see the character a little more clearly than just a silhouette. In fact, I think that would be the most likely option, because that way, they would already be bringing Whitebeard into the universe now, while still saving the character's real major impact for later seasons. So my theory is not just that Whitebeard will be talked about, but that he'll actually be shown, even if only in a small way. Honestly, I'd love to see that, because Whitebeard is one of the heaviest, most important characters in the One Piece world, and his connection to Ace is also extremely important. If Netflix builds that connection a little more strongly in season 3, it would make Ace's scenes even more effective, and it would also remind us once again just how huge this world really is. That's where my theory stands, guys. I think in season 3, we might not just hear Whitebeard being mentioned, but actually see him in some form. So what do you guys think about this theory? Do you think Netflix will actually show Whitebeard in One Piece live action season 3, or will they just leave it at Ace talking about him? And if they do show him, how do you think they would do it? And most importantly, what kind of actor would you want to see as Whitebeard? Make sure to write all your thoughts in the comments, and if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We'll keep being here for more One Piece live action theories, detailed videos, and new updates like this. See you in the next video.